A vampire? Jesus Christ! A short story by Lucas Acadian. Part 1. In lieu of modelling the greatest of linguistic works, I'd like to begin by saying you can call me Ishmael, but I checked my copyright lawyer and she told me that was a definite no-go, so I've instead opted to begin with, they call me Stu. I work as a gas station attendant, and I used to be Yehoshua bin Yosef, or Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Look, I really realise this all sounds crazy and vaguely derivative, so please just call me Stu. The story I'm about to tell you is going to sound like the rantings of a madman scribbling on toilet paper in the nut house, so instead of fighting it for 700 pages, I've decided to just instead lean into that. Now I go by Stu, Stuart Peter Josephson. I spent a lot of time in Sweden. Since I am, after all, the Alpha and the Omega, I wanted to go with Stuart Alphabet, but the guy making my fake IDs told me that was a risky move, so I instead paid homage to some names of my past. I have no living relatives, so I just tell everyone I grew up in the foster system, and honestly, they actually don't really ever question it. I currently live about half an hour outside of Dubuque, Iowa, which they think is a big city, but it isn't, and it's pretty boring, but I like it that way. I live in a low-income apartment building for hired and Section 8 tenants, and it rather suits me. Keeps me low profile, supplies me with people who need advice, and also, well... yeah, about that. I'm also legitimately, a vampire. Right, well, I got it out there. Anyway, I have been since the age of 31. It was actually how I survived the crucifixion. Truth is, I actually wasn't even dead. That dickhead emperor thought I was staging a Jewish uprising, and frankly, he was scared shitless. And so was I, though. So I thought letting them capture me and faking my own death would be the safer bet. And as it turns out, it actually was. The downside of being a vampiric son of God is that you need blood. In the early days, I resorted to killing on occasion, but luckily, after I made a name for myself, people started offering it willingly. Communion wafers, all that. Now that I'm dead, that's a lot harder. I can't just tell people, hey, I'm God the Son, I need your blood to prove your devotion. I tried that a few years back, and cops were cold. The whole building formed into a mob and chased me out, and I had to spend 3 weeks evading highway patrol and FBI and stolen cars under the alias of a Mexican-American pot dealer named Julio Chavez. I digress. Anyway, it wasn't fun, and it took 2 weeks to get the smell of bleach and kerosene out from under my fingernails after I torched the barn I was hiding in and donned the pink wig disguise of a cross-dressing bean farmer. I presently work the night shift at a Casey's gas station, stocking shelves, mopping the floor, cleaning the toilets, and making pizzas. Sometimes in that order. I keep my hair and nails trimmed short, brown, high and tight on top, neatly trimmed and narrow-lined goatee on my face. I'm a bit short by modern standards, only 5'7", pretty wiry. But I can fit well in cramped spaces, and I'm pretty nimble when I play Twister. I could tell you whether I manscape and how, but frankly it's none of your business what my bald balls look like. I spent most nights listening to people's problems and prying, looking for good ways to give good advice. I like to help, and you may be surprised how much people will tell a gas station attendant at 1 a.m. Anyway, one night I was working the overnight shift, stocking shelves, putting away 4 Locos and Pepsis, when a strange man came in, and I mean like stranger than usual, because in the gas station business you get a lot of strange men. He was balding, sort of short, wiry, shifty eyes, like he was looking for the cops to come at any moment. At first I thought he was just some icehead or crack addict about to ask me for a few dollars and a lighter for compensation for saying no. But as it turned out, he walked right up to me and he said, "I am the Archangel Metatron." Now, I admit, sir, all 4 or 5 bells went off in my head, and I thought, get your phone, get ready to call the cops. This is going to get weird. But then there was a light all around him, and I looked around. Trust me, it wasn't spotlights or the lighting of a oncoming police car. No, there was a real, legitimate, supernatural light coming off of this guy. And then he said something else. "Hey, man, hey, I'm just like you. Maybe you know what I mean. Hey, so, you know a spot where I can crash?" Well, normally this is the part where I would have pretended that someone was calling my name and walked away. Fast and abruptly, of course. But I looked him up and down, and I noticed, first off, there were holes in his jeans, and secondly, he was wearing Crocs. I mean, good God, pardon my verbiage, but who in the hell wears Crocs? This man really must be hard up, and I do like to help people, so I ultimately decided to tell him yes. You can crash with me in my apartment. Come back after my shift, and you can sleep on my couch.